my beautiful stars, in my recent videos I've introduced the concept of style logic to you and I have explained how it works. If you missed that, I'm gonna link the playlist below. But I've basically talked about the style logic sandwich, the starting point, the end goal, and what's in the middle. So in this video, let's talk about how the sandwich works for the Moonstone key, which is the style logic for the Right+Down Quadrant. So in brief, the Moonstone approach is to take inspiration from the outside, which is like the world, situations, contexts, art, etc., and then to filter all of that external inspiration through yourself to create the style that helps you, gives you what you want and need, and just like satisfies you. Okay, so Moonstone dressing is essentially this artistic process of translation or interpretation, right? You're starting from the outside and you're bringing it through yourself. So thinking about it this way, you can immediately see where the big style struggles for Moonstone are, right? So first, you struggle with actually bringing things into you, finding your own interpretation and meeting your own needs and demands and wants with style. Many Moonstones will just like see stuff you like and then just copy it without making it suitable enough for you, without making that adjustments. You may not just generally be that good at figuring out what you want or need from style in a situation, or be even used to thinking about style as something that's in service for you, because you might just be too focused on other people, their impressions, what you want to like achieve with your style in terms of affecting other people, etc. So the other struggle for Moonstone is getting stuck. You are meant to be taking in inspiration, exposing yourselves to new things. You're meant to be an explorer. Don't want to spend too much time on this, but this exploration can be very hard for Moonstones. The end result is that you do tend to get stuck in a very rigid, very limited box of what is allowed for yourself, and this is the antithesis of your healthy style habits. So I have developed really helpful style practices for Moonstone, learning how to connect with the outside world in a good way and how to explore in a good way. I call that my foundations course for Moonstone. I highly recommend it. You can check it out, the link below. But okay, let's break it down a bit more. Let's talk about the style logic. So starting point. The starting point for Moonstone is the outer world. When you are figuring out new things to buy, when you are packing for a trip, you're picking an outfit for the day, you need to make sure that there is some sort of external point of inspiration and reference. So this point of inspiration can and should be concrete to some extent. So you're going to a specific meeting at a specific place with a specific person, and that gives you a very clear dress code, gives you a very clear choice of what to wear. But thinking about, thinking about specific situations is really helpful, but we also want to think about big picture things like what's the season in the world, what are the macro trends you're seeing around you, or the micro trends, what are the physical spaces you're inhabiting and how do they make you feel? What art or media have you seen recently that has touched you in any way, whether it's fashion or otherwise? Moonstone is so good at collecting images onto mood boards, creating collages of things that inspire you. That's a great practice for you. The key is just to remember that this is inspiration. It's not a to-do list. It's wonderful for you to collect fashion images, but also more abstract things like paintings, landscapes, songs. As long as it inspires you, it gets to be part of your journey and you don't need to motivate why. It belongs with you in some way. If it inspires you, it belongs, and just forget about like cohesive, because the cohesiveness is you. It's all about you. Can be a bit overwhelming to think about all of the different layers of external inspiration, especially if they're at odds with each other. Like you've been really inspired by these classical oil paintings, historical costumes, and some drama you watched. These things are so detailed and so extra, but daily life, your surroundings are minimal, people are super casual. There's like a clash, right? But this is reality. Reality is always like multi-layered and contradictory. The skill is to learn to touch into these layers of inspiration without needing to reduce it all to one thing, because you need to be touched into these things. Without these points of contact, without consideration of your situation, of the broader external like ideas and inspiration, you will feel disoriented, uninspired. You will feel blocked and just kind of like unsatisfied. And that's also when the hyperfixation on fit comes in, the fit and color hyperfixation that really tortures so many moonstones. So okay, that's the starting point, external inspo. Now let's talk about the end goal, and this is so much simpler. It's like, it's your experience with the clothes, right? Your goal is to feel supported as you go through the world, right? Whatever support you need. Do you want to feel safe? Do you want to feel put together? Do you want to feel beautiful? Do you want to feel powerful? Do you want to create a bit of a romantic feeling for yourself? Do you want to raise your confidence? Whatever it is, your needs, right? That's whatever your needs are. Style is meant to help you get there as much as possible, right? It's not gonna fix everything in your life, but it is a extremely powerful magical device for like helping you. So let your style help you instead of being this thing you have to do for other people. So the really thing that's so simple but can be tricky is that it is about you and what you think and what you want, and it's about turning sometimes this external need into internal need. So if you find yourself being like, okay, but I really want to like impress and intimidate people at work, the real more helpful puzzle for you is to think about, okay, I want to feel like I'm more of a professional, authoritative, confident person, you know, or I want to feel more put together. I want to feel just more on it, right? And that's like a puzzle your brain likes to solve a lot more rather than the puzzle of how do I like intimidate people at work, which you're like, I don't know. Now we have the starting point and we have the end goal. Let's talk about what is in the middle of the style sandwich, the styling techniques. That's how we go from this, you know, starting point to the end goal we just talked about. And you can layer other style systems in here, a color palette, body types, current trends, like any styling advice you want can go in here. But from Style Thoughts by Rita, there are two important techniques I teach for Right Down Moonstone. The first is a storytelling approach. So this is all about creating a harmonious feeling in your outfit. The sensation that all of the pieces belong together in some sort of a way, like there's a reason. And that might be because they are literally harmonious. You know, you have the same color, you have the same texture. You have like flowers, I'm almost wearing flowers. You have flowers here, you have flowers there. It's white here, it's white here, right? So it could be something about literal matchiness. But a lot of the times this harmony comes from a story that you have in your mind, which is like obvious to you and makes you smile, but isn't necessarily obvious to anybody else. So you don't need to tell them like, I'm dressed up like a rose garden today. It could just be something for you. So creating a clear story in your head for your outfit helps you create outfits that look really, really good, helps you fix like what the problem is if you don't like how it looks, and helps you feel really good and supported, and that's what we want. The second technique I teach for Moonstone is about effective exploration. I already said that Moonstones can get really trapped in the rigid box. So the thing is, you want to avoid outfits that are too safe, too boring, but you also want to avoid this like impulse buy stuff that's like way too out there, feels overwhelming, you're never gonna wear it, just feel bad about it. The problem is like oftentimes when you try to just like do new stuff or get cool different stuff, you know, without anchoring it towards your needs and the context you're in, it just doesn't work. So storytelling, exploration are great for Moonstone. I've talked about them in my previous videos. I've also written about that in the foundations course. If you want to dive into that, I invite you. But now let's go through an example of Moonstone style process. So let's do a wardrobe planning example. So you get a new job. It's a relatively senior position, but it's work from home. So you're really cozy, but you have regular meetings. So the next step is to think about, okay, like, so that's like the context. You can think a lot more about specific needs you have, etc. But then the next step is to think about your needs, right? So I want to feel comfortable and relaxed because I'm at home and I'm working, but I also really want to feel put together and kind of dressy because I'm a boss now and I'm in this meetings, you know, and I want to feel that. So your previous office clothes probably don't work for this new position because they're not comfortable or relaxed, so they feel like out of place and kind of fake at work from home. But like a full-on loungewear style outfit, even if it's technically allowed, wouldn't work because it's just not put together enough, you know. So even though it's okay, it's a cute cardigan, it doesn't feel the dressiness for you. So you would want to look for styles that marry both of these things, right? The comfort and the dressiness. So there are some outfit templates that obviously work for this. So you could do a pair of like dressy but comfortable jeans, a luxurious sweater, you could do like a unique printed blouse, you could add earrings, a necklace, a watch, like anything that shows up in that camera square, right? You could upgrade your daily makeup, you could come up with a daily hairstyle that makes it the put together feeling. So working with this outfit template, okay, so you have like the idea, right? But you need to get some more ideas for exactly how is this gonna look, and that's where you want to take some more inspiration for theme or story, right? What are the colors? What are the patterns I'm looking for? What's the theme? Like, why does the necklace go with the blouse? How am I gonna choose the sweater? And this is where you could bring in the mood board. You could bring in also current trends, like, oh, I've seen tons of people wearing this cobalt blue lately, I could try that. Or you could just try any, you know, like any inspiring things visually I talked about to help you come up with some sort of a story to create an outfit that follows this kind of template you came up with, but infuses it with some sort of a meaning. So again, it's not just a collection of pieces, but it's like something special for you. It can also be sentimental things, like, I don't know, for some reason you just really associate white with being a boss because you had a boss that wore a lot of white once, so you're gonna get yourself like a really fancy white cashmere sweater. That's great. So, okay, that's the Moonstone key for the Right+Down Quadrant. We will, in future videos, look in depth at some more Moonstone styling examples and talk about how different systems can come together. But in the next video in this series, we are going to talk about the Amethyst key style logic overview. So I'll see you then. Bye!